Ken Schroeder here in my echo chamber office in the main level of my house. And I hope you enjoyed the little echoey voice. Haven't gone live in this group much. I've been doing a lot with another group that I run, WordPress 101 for Coaches, and I'll put a link in the description below. But why not pop in here and share some things that could be helpful for you and your coaching website. And so what I'll do is I'll probably pop in more and share things that I will share in both groups. But if you're going to build a website yourself and you're doing it on WordPress and you want to learn it fast, you want to set up your site and get it going, you should hop over to the WordPress 101 for Coaches group. It's pretty much a DIYer's place where I'm going to be working with coaches and getting their sites up. WordPress is the platform that I use, and I go into a lot of it about there. But what I wanted to do in this video is share with you something that I did with a client recently that was really powerful for her website. And we don't have specific numbers and measures of how it's better now than it was before, other than a lot of reactions to from the clients, from her, something I like, and from other people who I share it with. So in front of me is Lisa Guillot's website. I believe she's in this group. She's a client of mine, and we've been together for a little while, maybe a year actually, helping her grow her business in all kinds of ways. And so what I want to share with you is there's this concept of brand archetype. And I've been aware of branding and archetypes and personalities and all these things, but I never really took it to heart until, let's see, I don't know, a month or two. I started looking into, well, what would pull me into it? I have some copywriter friends who are into it, and you see it bouncing around. I just don't really know how to get my hands around it. And I do know the concept of when you create a website, it's a really good move to think of a single individual that you're targeting with your websites, the single ideal client, person who can get the most out of what you do. It just helps your message be clearer, stronger, and people who are not that individual can follow along easier. So not only does narrowing your content on a single, unique, what we call persona in user interface design, narrowing in on that individual person just makes the message so much easier for everyone, and not even just that person you're targeting. So to boost conversions on the traffic that we get to this website, Lisa's website, and in some recent studies on branding and archetypes, I want to share with you what we did here. Now, her site was pretty good before, but the message was flatter. It didn't have as much life in it. It didn't have as much realness in it until we reviewed her archetype, which, Lisa is a trauma recovery specialist. She's also a trauma survivor and a registered nurse. And her clients come to her, they have trauma, and they need care, they need to heal past it. They're very sensitive, and a lot of things come with that. Beyond my knowledge, I can just share with you what I've understood from working with Lisa and her content, and just lots of conversations about this, because we want her website to just really be engaging for that person who shows up. So here is, let me take you to one brand archetype called the Caregiver. And if you search online for brand archetype, you'll see a lot of stuff out there. And there's, Carl Jung and Jungian theory. I believe that maybe he was one of the fathers of talking about these archetypes. And then if you bring it into branding, it gives your brand a personality. And always words you use, visuals, and yeah. So here's the Caregiver. So after reviewing I'll quickly go to the multiple types of brand archetypes. And here's this woman, Kay Putnam, pulled together a lot of fun stuff, a lot of good visuals. So her website, kputnam.com, you can get a sense of these brand archetypes. It's just nice free learning stuff here. But to give you a sense, here are 12 brand archetypes. I'm not going to go into them a lot. I'll just share with you caregiver, creator, and as I say, these entertainer, explorer. As I say these things, you can probably get a sense of who that person is, an explorer out in the wild looking at new things. The magician, making magical things happen, transformations, wowing people. The sage, kind of intelligent, wise, maybe deep thoughts, and a teacher, kind of um, you know archetype or just kind of vibe. I like to call it the vibe at your website. And there's other ones, but for Lisa, the one that fit the most is this caregiver, and it fits her personality as well. And this is how she behaves. And what's odd with websites is the way you are in the real world. You may be, maybe your personality may come through in one way in the real world, but when we go to the websites and content marketing, we all of a sudden kind of clam up and become this. I don't know. Maybe it's you try to be smart and you don't. You just kind of like a stumbly version of yourself that's not. And it's probably related to fears and being judged and stuff, and maybe newness of going online. But when we reviewed the caregiver archetype and we applied it to a website, it helped bring out that feeling of realness about Lisa, and it helped bring out some words and sensitivities that about your visitor that we should consider. If it's an executive making fast decisions, shorter copy and just take action now and let's get started um, is a good way to go. If you're a caregiver and your clients are maybe people who've been through some severe traumatic situations and they're hurt and and they have some weird, not weird, but maybe unhealthy behaviors and attachment styles, all this stuff. Again, I'm no pro on this. I'm just throwing terms out there that I see and hear. But when you deal with a person like that, your website, you want to make it feel safe. You want to make it feel like they're not alone and that it's okay to take small steps and not be pushed. You know, it's not action, boom, like go, 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 let's do this. It's more like, whoa, let's just make sure, we're okay. So anyway, reviewing this caregiver um, brand archetype and looking at her content, her copy, and maybe her colors can be revisited. But you can see, um, let's just go at one part of this. The goal of this brand archetype is to take care of others, to help and take care of others. So these are good words to use on your website: helping, taking care of, making people feel they're cared for. I know coaching, is the coaching techniques are applied, goal setting and raising awareness and all kinds of things, and you'll help empower people and help them build their own strengths. That's a big part of it. But when you meet clients at the beginning, you have to. Well, my take is you meet them where they're at, and you help them learn what they need to learn. So if Lisa is going to meet potential new clients, and this means that clients are going to show up and feel cared for, that's okay. As she works with them, you can help them find their own way and strengthen them and empower them and help them develop their own skills. But when you meet them at the beginning, um, it's good to meet people where they're at. That's a good grounding, real place to be. So anyway, the goal of this brand is taking care of others, and the big fear is selfishness and ingratitude. Um, you know, yeah, I'm not sure where to apply that specifically, but thinking about, so here's the strategy: doing things for others, service, focusing the attention on others, people, not yourself. And Lisa's very much like that. This is how she does, how she works with clients. Oh, here's it. Here's what I want to look at. There's something called your brand voice: considerate, thoughtful, kind, and generous. So that is a good. Those are good words to think about as you're doing your content. Be very considerate of your visitors. If they don't want to meet by video, we can meet by phone. Um, and be thoughtful, kind, and generous. So give them the tools that they need. You can be generous about what you give to them. You want to create a safe place for them to learn and grow. And over here on the right says customers feel loved, taken care of, I'm not alone, and secure. So again, as you read this about your brand, um, here's some good words: I'm not alone. I'll take care of you, and a feeling of that it's secure. So on Lisa's website, here we have on the homepage, we've done a few things. One key thing to embrace the brand is to really bring out she's a registered nurse as well. So that's immediately going to give a sense of someone who takes care of them. And a nurse of many years, maybe you should say registered nurse 15 years, 20 years. It should probably say that to even make it stronger. This is a very peaceful, caring picture. Pinks and soft blues are good. Um, so that we hadn't really changed recently, but recently what we did was get this in there. Also that she's a trauma survivor, get that up front on the home page immediately. Right now we're on the home page, this is the first thing people see. Now, she's also a trauma survivor, so now the person who's had trauma is not going to feel alone as much. And in fact, we even add the words in here, you're not alone. Not only am I a recovery specialist, but I'm also a trauma survivor too. You're not alone. So again, we've added some of these words. Before, it was good, but I think it didn't have as much of hit on this caregiver sense. It didn't bring this out as strongly. Let's see, what else did we do? Okay, this line here, I will provide a safe, secure place for those tough times and teach you better ways to heal from the past and live connected and joyfully today. So we added that in as well, safe and secure, make sure that shows up. Yeah, so those are a couple of the things that, also, let me just one more thing. We have a page called Get Help Now. And when I work with clients, I highly recommend a dedicated page to this call to action that you want people to take. And so we added some content here to invite people to take the next step. It may be uncomfortable, so acknowledge that and that you understand. Again, repeat it. I promise to give you a safe, secure place. And you don't have to discuss anything painful. Again, safe and secure. There's no fee for this call at the moment. That's not specific. Okay, here's another one. The initial call will be by voice or video, whichever works better for you. So it's being very considerate. And that's what we applied in the content for her brand. And after we did it, it just really, you can really instantly feel, and you didn't see the before picture of this. And yeah, I guess it would have helped seeing the before picture. But if not, and whatever it is, you can see and feel that what I'm saying here. You can see that it's more caregiver feeling. And you can imagine the people who are, really having a hard time, a safe place, secure, where they can get the care they need is what they want. So there's a lot of things to do for your website. One element that's a good move to make is to think about the brand archetype that would be a good guideline for your website and your ideal client. Think about who the one single person who would make the best client you could work with. Now, you may have other ones, and you may have maybe multiple targets, or maybe you're just doing leadership coaching, and maybe there's upper level management versus new managers, a little different. But even so, if you have multiple types of kinds of clients within your area, having a clear archetype helps guide your message. It helps keep you on track and make it simpler for people to understand, and hopefully more fun for you as well as you look at what your business sort of stands for. Okay, I hope my blabbing has been of help, and I hope you've enjoyed the echo chamber version of this. With Facebook Live, I can't switch between the camera and the computer screen. Otherwise, you'll get to see how well I did my hair this morning. And you can laugh right now. Where am I going here? Let me go back to this. Unfortunately, you get this Twilight Zone effect here. Mary and Gabriella are in this discussion. Hey, glad you guys joined in. That's the end of this live video, and I will share this about, etc. Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.